Left Wing Kingz. Listen, think, act, repeat.
The United Auto Workers Union is currently on strike against General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis. Now, the workers are trying to strike for better wages, benefits, and better working conditions. They're also demanding that the company invest in their plants and create new jobs in those plants. Now, Wanda, you're currently part of a union, so what are your thoughts about the current strike?
I wish educators had a stronger union. That's my thoughts. Just to touch base on what Texas is. So I can only speak from Texas perspective. So in Texas, we are a right to work state. What does that mean? You're basically not required to join a union for employment. So that sounds good, right? That sounds really, really good. But also the caveat is that historically you cannot, I'm telling you right now, cannot collective bargain. So what does that mean? So what the UAW, what they're able to do is strike. Well, guess what? Teachers ain't allowed to strike. Well, I'll take it back. You can strike, but there are very harsh consequences for striking or collective bargaining in Texas. So yes, you don't have to join a union, but what that also means is the caveat too is there's certain things you cannot do. Otherwise, you're going to have harsh consequences such as teachers can lose their certification, TRS, which is your teacher retirement system money. So disciplinary action. So those go with it. Also in Texas, there's a low union membership because, again, you don't have to join. And then some people are scared in order to do so. They don't want to have ramifications. That's why teachers have been working so hard about getting paid. And if you see that they haven't gotten paid, we do have unions. So we have like TSATA, AFTA, NEA. So those are the three major ones in Texas. But that's three different unions. You know what I'm saying? So how strong are they?
Ain't nobody getting paid.
Exactly. So if you see teachers still are sad and they still can't get paid, and that's through legislation. People arguing. And if you poll people do think teachers in education should be paid more. But look, have they been paid more? No, not by the state. Districts are giving money, and districts now are going into debt. And those are your major districts. So just so information on there. So when they're asking you for bonds and all that stuff, I'm telling you right now, districts don't have money. Who holds the purse is the state, who is your governor, which is Abbott.
And Ken Paxton.
And Ken Paxton. There you go.
Who's spending on his mistress.
So that's how I feel about unions. I think it's very empowering to see what they're doing. And I know people don't understand that. And they're like, well, they're not working and they're, and this is going to impact us as far as inflation. Yes, but people deserve to be able to survive. Their CEOs are making 281 times more than their employees. 281 times. They are billionaires. So don't tell me they can't afford to pay their employees an affordable wage. They work hard and they're going to see. And yes, it isn't going to impact them. The longer they strike, it's going to go into them profits because Ford has profited $11 billion and they are set to profit $12 billion this year. I think they're okay to pay their employees and I'm happy for them. That's profit. And that's less interest. So that's profit, not how much money they're going to make. Because you know how that works, right?
Yeah.
You put your money in the bank and you get more money. So that's less profits. So I think in Texas, people don't understand the language of what a union is. People don't understand the facet of what it is to say, you know what, I don't want to have to join this. But I'm going to tell you, not having to join something, you see what the ramifications are. And this is where we're at now, still fighting. And that goes for police officers and any other service employee.
Yeah, I was in the union when I worked with Southwest Airlines, and the way I looked at it, they just took your money, and that's the negative part on the unions. Like I agree with the teachers' unions and things like that. You know what I'm saying? But in our case, they didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like and unions make money. We had to pay them union dues still, and they told us we had to pay, and we got hired there, but when it came to standing up for us and let's get more pay and all that, the way you used to say how they go play golf with the management and do whatever they want to. So wasn't in the Texas situation, not a big fan of unions unless they're going to really make things different for us. Now, it was not easy for them to let us go. It was some benefit to that. But outside of that, I didn't really.
You didn't see the benefits.
Didn't
Right.
see the benefit of it, But in this case with the United Auto Workers, you talk about the CEOs. We had to bail out the car industry when the economy
How many times?
crashed.
How many times? Do you know how many times we bailed them out?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's been
I know you
numerous. It's not
probably do.
1, 2,
I
3.
don't.
Like look it up, guys.
Yeah.
It's been numerous times.
Yeah. So when they turn around, and I know they're making about $20 billion in profit right now. That means that's their bottom line, man, and that's what they're making. So it's crazy that their workers have to go this far to get paid. And I know that I read this or heard this, that when Obama was in office, they actually went to the union and asked them to take a pay cut so the companies wouldn't go under.
Yeah.
They need to pay these people, man. You know what I'm saying? They making a lot of money. And then I heard one of the CEOs when they asked her, "Hey, well, you got a bonus and an increase, and your money has went up year after year." And she said, "Oh, that's all incentive based." Well, your incentive was based on the fact that the workers did what they needed to do
Right.
to get you paid. Like, pay these people. Now, here's the deal: when they went on strike, they only shut down 3 places, just to show them. But if they really shut everything down and get it going, it's going to throw the economy. Like, and I saying people don't understand. Yeah, because there's a lot of things that's based on us making cars that people work and do. Like, for instance, it's the people that are like gas. You can name it like convenience stores, just whatever. When they throw that monkey wrench in there, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
Yeah, I heard that today they just closed down like the parts places as well. So that's like one of the most lucrative parts of the automakers is the auto parts for repairs and stuff like that.
Don't get in a wreck. Stop driving fast.
Yeah, that's what they said.
You
It's
ain't
gonna
getting no
start
part.
impacting people because when them parts start running out,
You
it's
ain't
gonna take
getting one.
longer to fix your car.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And like I said, that's why when you're not understanding politics on who's doing what, like, why is the CEO in such a position to where they made so much money to the point where the workers are mad? Well, how do you think that happened? You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Over time.
They got pay cuts with a friendly administration, a friendly government that did that for them. And the workers that are striking, 9 times out of 10, voted for those politicians to put them in office. Not knowing they was voting against themselves. Like, you probably a union worker, thought you was going to go out and vote Republican. Who you think gave your CEO them tax cuts and got him rich like that?
Trickle down economics, guys.
And
How's that working out for you?
It ain't
Did it
trickled
trickle?
down yet.
It's not trickling because we got people striking. I keep telling people that. I was like, so you think they're billionaires? You think they're giving you money?
Yeah.
That's how they become billionaires. Hello?
And they ain't putting it back into the economy. They saving it or doing
No.
whatever they doing with it or investing it somewhere else, but they're not putting it to your best interest.
Right.
So guess what, guys? Reagan started trickle down economics.
That don't work.
And it don't work.
Because
Never
we've been
worked.
trickling for a long time.
It's been trickling, and the rich is getting richer, and the poor is getting poorer. There's the stats out there. I'm pretty sure Walanda knows it. You know what I'm saying?
Your middle class is shrinking, guys. And guess who helps pay for you? Your middle class. So when I disappear, we disappear, we're all going to be poor or filthy rich. That's what's going to happen. The middle is disappearing.
And that's how the French Revolution
came to
down.
power. Right. History is important.
Yeah, because you had real rich people and real poor people, and the poor people got tired of it.
Yeah.
Right. But poor people are putting themselves there. That's what I don't understand. I was like, you are doing it to yourself.
Understand your politics,
but when you are poor and you're part of a powerful union, then you have power. You got leverage.
Right. You got a voice.
And right now, like in the state, I guess Michigan, right, where when they like here in Texas, you said like it's right to work. So if no job can tell you that you have to. I guess you said that yours told you had to, but usually they're not supposed to tell you.
They gave us a choice. But.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Leave or don't.
Right. No, but you don't have to join a union to have a job in Texas. Well, guess what? In Michigan,
You have to, right?
like, yeah, if you're going to work here, you have to join a union. So now, okay, great. I'm paying this money. Now you're reaping the rewards. Now you're reaping the benefits of it because now you're like, okay, I may not be getting paid right now, but I'm going to get paid more based on what this union is doing for me. Now, one of the ladies who's working at one of the plants, I don't remember which one it was, she said that her mom worked there before her. Her mom worked there however many years, more than 20 years, she retired. Her mom retired in 2004. The lady works there today. She makes $3 an hour more than her mom made in 2004 when she retired.
Wow.
19 years, man.
Yeah.
$3 more? You telling me? Now, I don't know if they did the same job. I don't know whether her mom was a CEO or something. I don't know. But if the wages have not increased and they were working the same job, and 19 years later, you making $3 more than somebody who worked a 20-something year career there?
Yeah.
That's not right, man.
No.
And I don't care who you are. To your point, like, people got to know what's going on out there. Like, people, I didn't know that was even possible. Like, you could be in the same industry for 20 years and make $3 more than what you was making 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's teachers right now.
Think about the profit difference that Ford has from 2004 to 2023. Probably exponential, probably crazy.
Oh, yeah, nuts. And it's all on borrowed money. Because once again, they had to be bailed out. Big time bailed out. They got a lot of money.
But then y'all mad
To the point that they had to take pay cuts. Like,
yes.
come on, man.
Yeah, but then they're mad when they bail out, like, going back to student loans and stuff. Okay, you bail out companies all the time.
All the time.
Bail out the little man. I'm sorry, your little $4,000. You can afford your little $4,000 student loan that they own. Like, come on.
But guess how they fight that? They go to
they
to the
lazy.
blue collar worker and say,
Yeah.
well, hey, they ain't giving you no money. You didn't go to college. Why you gonna vote for that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So, I don't know, man. I really want to kind of talk a little bit about, like, the power of the union. Like, both of you just told me, like, hey, here in Texas, your unions didn't have power for nothing. But think about it. The power, and maybe I'm wrong. You guys are going to have to correct me on this. I think about unions as the power being the people, the group of people that are a part of this big union, that if everyone who's in the union says, F you, we're not doing this, that you're going to have to do something, negotiate with us to help improve our situation. So for teachers, I understand, and I think you touched on this a little bit about, like, hey, if teachers strike, there's things that could happen to them. But if you got enough teachers strike, if you got, like, let's say 50% of the people in the unions strike in Texas, that's going to hurt. The kids ain't going to be able to have no teachers. Things are going to happen that are going to cause the state to say, man, okay, yeah, we could do something bad to them, but we got to get these teachers back in the classroom because people are, like, hurting.
Right.
Like,
Definitely right now with everything in the
can't
in the
you
climate.
have more? Can't the teachers have more power if they act?
If
Or
they
is there,
acted
like,
together.
whole union just powerless?
No, we have again, there are unions because I'm part of one, but again, I don't think they're as strong in numbers because we are in different factions. There's different unions here that teachers can be a part of. You know what I'm saying? So they're stronger together. If they would all combine together, then I definitely see something like that working. And again, Texas is very good at fear mongering. People are afraid. If you told me I'm losing my retirement that I've worked so hard for, that's scary. If you told me I'm gonna take my certification and I can't work anymore, that's a fear. That's a real fear, as far as you taking somebody's livelihood. So I think that's what it is. I think it's a lot of fear mongering that goes on as far as in teachers and servicemen and nurses and doctors, because they're all in the same position. They all feel the same way. But again, with Texas being it's a law. So I think we've been governed to act accordingly. We've been scared to do so.
That right to work state.
Yeah,
You know what
that
I'm
right
saying?
to work. They tell you all the time, right to work state.
I don't know. Yeah, my opinion is the unions aren't good on a Texas standpoint, but with the UAW, it's awesome. I'm glad that those people are doing what they need to do to stand up and get their jobs, to keep their jobs and get paid right. It's just, it's funny and crazy to me that after everything we went through with the economy and everything, that you still got CEOs making lucrative amounts of money. Mm-hmm. You still got workers that aren't getting paid. Right. And I don't know about you, man, moving to, like you said, 19 years ago, everything that went up since then.
Oh, definitely.
Except, you say minimum wage and people battle minimum wage and raising people's wages. Like they fight that tooth and nail. Mm-hmm. But they living off of lucrative bonuses. Once again, it's the rich staying richer. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to give you that money. They're not gonna get a bonus and say, "Hey, man, let me take 20% of this and let's let it trickle down to everybody else." Who does that? They never did that in the whole history of the world. There's no kings that looked at their treasure and said, "Let's give this to the peasants." No, they kept it in a room somewhere and gave it to their kids and their kids.
And
And it's the same thing here. So, like, yeah, I mean, lovely thing that they're doing. And I think that's a beautiful power. Like you said, if all the teachers had stood up and said, "Hey, man, we're going to strike and we're going to do this," and wasn't in fear of losing their job and losing their livelihood and their retirement.
Or even with that fear being present. Because the people, think about it, the United Auto Workers, these people ain't getting paid right now while they're striking. But they have things happening to them. They're striking because they believe that their cause is true and valid. And now they are going to one day, who knows, get their job back. But to Peter's point, this is a good point here. Peter said in the UK, there was a union that was responsible for the total decimation of the mining industry in the 70s and 80s. So while they could be good, they can also be dangerous. Right. Same thing can happen with the UAW. What if they strike and Ford and GM say, you know what? We going to freaking Japan. We going to Canada. We already got plants in these other places. We just going to move all of our stuff. There's risk there too for these United Auto Workers. There's risk for anyone who strikes. So teachers could do it if they're willing to take the risk. They have to be willing to take the risk. But like you said, and like we talked about earlier with like conspiracy theories, it's emotion, fear. Like you said, there's fear behind it, but it's personal fear. Like, I don't want somebody to take my retirement. But think, hey, if I align with 1 million other people and we all strike, are they really going to take all our retirement? No, they're not. No. They're going to find a way to work with us and give us our job back. Or, like happened in the UK, they just get a bunch of damn charter schools and they say, we're done with public education. Right? I don't know. But there's risk no matter where you are. Like I said, the United Auto Workers have risk too. They could just move all their plants to Canada or Mexico, where they already have plants. They're doing
that already.
But they've shown, like, UAW's been involved since 1935. So you got to think of the longevity of this union. You know what I mean? Like,
very powerful.
They're powerful. 1935 to 2023, and they still real doing for their people. So I think in that, it's longevity. It just shows a lot of strength. You know what I'm saying? So I think these union members felt very comfortable in doing what they're doing. Like, hey, they've been here. They've had my back from way, way long ago, before I was even born. So they're going to, they're going to follow through. We don't got a union like that right now. So I think there's some, you know what I mean? We just don't have that.
I'm thinking, like, how long they been striking right now? Anybody know?
Oh, it hasn't been that long. I mean,
about a little bit over a week. Huh?
Yeah, it's been a little over a week.
Because at some point,
but at some time now, that's been a month.
Your cupboard runs dry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Your bills ain't paid. Right? If you willing to sit it out this long, like, how long are they willing? Like, there's risk at every level. There's short-term risk and there's long-term risk as well.
And I think, like, it's just a different mentality. Like, when you're on the East Coast, the Midwest, you belong to a union. That union is just
strong.
as powerful and strong. So, shoot, a lot of times, those guys are just trying to get into the union. They get into the union, then they go get the job or whatever. So that, down here, we don't value unions because they don't carry any power. Like that,
they don't carry the power. And just think about wages when you look at West Coast, East Coast, South. The East and the West make way more money than most Southerners, even in the same profession. Could be unions. I don't know. I had to do the research on that, but I could tell you this. And again, different cost of living and all that.
Unions too.
Right. But I think the unions do impact that because somebody in my profession, like, I'll go and make 3 times what I make here as a principal. I'll go to New York and, you know what I'm saying, live it up. So it just, those unions, I've been trying to leave.
You ain't
Texas
trying to
ain't
go
for me.
nowhere.
Texas ain't for me. But, you got to look at that. And again, like you said, unions just don't hold that power. And if they are taking people's money, like you said, that's a sad thing because there's so much corruption that happens, I think. But UAW it's been strong.
Well, I just don't know, like, for instance, in the case of Southwest Airlines and what I was doing, I was working in customer service. Like, if I'm paying you union fees all the time and you're doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? People still getting fired and, and our wages aren't going up. And when we are negotiating, we're the last ones. And we see the mechanic strike and we see the flight attendant strike or having a battle and it comes to us, crumbs. And I always say this, during COVID was our time to probably strike, because
Should have been time. Right.
we were put on the front lines as customer
Yep.
service agents, because,
Yep.
we were the ones, and you do nothing, then I can only say you're stealing from me.
Right.
Because you're taking my money and you're doing nothing. You know what I'm
Teachers
saying?
unions feel the same way. Yeah,
And
I
when
get you.
When
Yeah.
when I eventually left Southwest, and probably about a year or two later, they finally got their contract and their agreement after COVID was already through. I'm saying? So, and I assume everybody's good over there. I got a few people to stay there, but that's my view of unions. That's the first time I worked with union and understand. I was like, okay. But I know it ain't like that everywhere. But I think in Texas, that's kind of what it's been demented to. It's another way that they earn money off their workers. You know what I'm saying? And wherever that money goes, that's basically what it is. But it's not like like you say, up east, where
It's real.
they putting them people over the barrel. And I mean, like I said, it's a real situation. Like,
Right.
like you say, your mom retired and you only making $3 more than she did after 19 years. And
Right.
hell, 19 years ago, gas was $2.25 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we close to $4 now. I still making about the same money, because $3 and hey, that ain't much.
Right. Well, so they'll say that unions cause the cost of living to rise. They're like, well, it's union's fault because now we got to pay the people. I'm like, these people, okay, even with the union, they're still making billions of dollars.
Yeah, you can't find that at 20 billion.
Yeah, I'm like, you're still making money. Yeah, you're still making okay, so now you're not making a 40 billion profit. And we didn't cut you down to 20 billion, but
And
you're still rich.
That's what killed me when they say profit.
Right.
Profit means after I pay all my bills and do everything.
I
This is
still
what's
have.
left.
I still have.
I paid everything already. So the lady was saying, we got to do this and that. Babe, y'all said profit.
I still have.
Y'all done paid for that already. This is what you got left over.
That's in my bank account. That's what I'm rolling.
Yeah, and you got so much left over that you done made 281% more than you did. Oh, that's all incentive driven.
Exactly.
Pay
That's what I
them
said.
people.
Yes. I was like,
Pay them people.
I'm trying to make sure and understand the math is just not mathing. Yeah. So they would be making even more probably if they didn't have a union, because they would be able to be like Texas and do what you want. I'm gonna pay you this and keep it moving. So.
Yeah, and people need to stop trying to undercut people. There's always somebody out there that, well, I'll work and I'll do that. No, get with this union and let's get it right.
I keep saying that.
Exactly. So, man, I love this conversation, man, about the unions thing, because, I mean, it opens people's eyes. It helps them understand, like, because unions can be very powerful and a tool for good. They could also mess things up, like Peter said. And at the end of the day, they could also just steal your money. I mean, it depends on, like, the laws of the state. People don't know, like, the laws of the state come into play. I do think in Texas, one good thing about unions is that they can help you if you're being fired for the wrong thing.
Yes.
That's probably the one thing that they could do. And if you paying it's kind of like insurance, right? I pay my insurance every month, but I didn't get in car crashes every month.
Yeah.
But when I do get in one, I'm glad I got insurance, because now I can use you and you can fix my car. So that's the only benefit that I see from a union, is that if you decide that, if the company decides to fire you, here in Texas anyway, if the company decides to fire you and it's not right, you can use a union to fight. They'll fight for you for that. But otherwise, like you said, it's like insurance. You're just paying your money and hoping, that you get to use them one day.
But if you don't have it, right? But if you don't have it,
don't HR do that too?
No.
HR will get rid of you.
Yeah.
And the union steps in and says, "Hey, hold on, Brian.
Back up.
This ain't right. You can't fire this person."
Right.
Now, if it's something that you should be fired for, the union ain't gonna do nothing. They're gonna be like, "Bro, you stole $20.
That's a no-go. But they'll fight for you,
right? Yeah. But if it's a wrongful termination in the eyes of the union, then they will step in and they will fight for you.